What's up and welcome back to the Chris Gates Fitness Podcast. Thanks as always for being here. And this is definitely a unique episode. This is not going to be super fitnessy. This is going to be more life related because I've made the biggest career change ever and one that's a bit non-traditional. I quit my job just last week. So this week that I'm recording and publishing this podcast episode is actually the first week that I can say in the history of my coaching business that I am only an online fitness coach. And so I wanted to talk a bit about the journey that's got me here. Not going to take too much of your time, but I do feel like, this is something that might be interesting for some of you to listen to, considering it's not something I've really talked about that much or at all publicly. And really, most of my clients don't even know this information. But I feel like it's important to share. I appreciate the relationship and the depth that I have with all of you that listen to this podcast and anybody that follows me on social media. And so I think it's important to share with you this massive life change that I'm making, why I'm doing it, how we got here, and all that good stuff. So this is the story of me quitting my job, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. And if you do, and you want even more podcast episodes moving forward from here, make sure that you subscribe wherever you are listening or watching, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of the places. That's where the podcast is. And I would really appreciate you following along and your support, because now that this is my only job, my only gig, I am very excited and motivated to kick up the frequency, kick up the quality of all the content that I'm creating. That's definitely something that has suffered along the way as I've worked two jobs at the same time. But I'm excited to pour even more of myself and my time and energy into content like this. So let's dive into it and just talk about where we are now. Okay, so about 3 weeks ago, I put in my notice to leave my other job. And that other job was I did marketing at a university. And I enjoyed that job. That job was great. It provided a lot of stability for me and my family. And, truth be told, in the 12 or so years that I worked there, I got my master's degree. My wife got her master's degree. We had 3 children on great health benefits. Like we took advantage of a lot of the benefits that job provided to my family. There was great work-life balance with working that job. And so really, 95% of my time working that job was extremely positive. And it's not like I'm leaving the job because I was upset. More so, I'm leaving the job because I mentioned work-life balance. My work-life balance between the two jobs has been non-existent for a few years. I've been coaching for 7.5 years. And so I've been working these two jobs at the same time for that entire time. But across those 7.5 years, the first 3 to 4 years of my coaching business, it's not like I was, working around the clock to manage both. When you start any business, you're starting small. And so in those first 3 or 4 years, I was typically somewhere between like 10 to 15 clients on average, right? And so there wasn't really an issue with me balancing both because I could do a lot of the work with my coaching business on the weekends. But as the coaching business has continued to grow, which I'm unbelievably grateful for, and I'm sure a lot of you listening are either current clients or past clients. I appreciate you so much with, giving me the opportunity to earn your trust and work with you, and that has helped me grow the business. Over the last 3-ish years, the business has really grown exponentially faster. So again, I'm grateful for that. And as it has grown faster, I won't share how everything changed year by year or month by month, but really where things have been at over the past year is just about every single day for me has started around 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, and working nonstop 2 jobs till almost like 9 p.m. at night. It's been it has been a gauntlet. And obviously there's breaks in there, but the breaks are to like pick the kids up from school, make dinner for the family, make breakfast for the family, get the kids to bed. So there has not been a lot of breathing room in my routine for a really, really long time. And as our kids grow, as our family gets older. Now we have 3 kids that are on 2 different schedules because our oldest is in kindergarten. And in a couple of years, the next one's going to go to kindergarten, but the oldest will be in 2nd grade and the youngest will still be in daycare. So we'll have 3 kids on 3 different schedules. It's been very, very challenging to make everything work as one at once. And I even earlier this year in May, went from full-time at my other job to part-time to try to free up some more flexibility. But even with that, as the coaching business has continued to grow, we've just got to this point where those type of hours every day and then working on the weekends constantly, it's not how I envisioned being a dad. This coaching business is exactly what I want to do. It is the thing that I'm most passionate about. And, I can say if something like this, running your own business or, diving deeper into something you're passionate about, that's crossed your mind before, I can say with full certainty that you absolutely can turn it into your livelihood if you are willing to put the work in. And I have put the work in really, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, knowing that there was going to be a light at the end of the tunnel here, because coaching is what I want to do. Coaching is what I'm passionate about. Coaching is what provides me with fulfillment. My other job was great, but it didn't really provide me with any of those things I just mentioned. And so, growing the business to a point where, I have considerably more clients. I'm able to give myself a good paycheck. I'm able to support my family. And then I'm also able to have vastly more flexibility to not have to, earn vacation hours or earn sick time and then, have my vacation line up where it doesn't conflict with somebody else's and constantly have to be having the stress of like, a kid gets sick at school and then somebody's got to go get them and then they're home for the next day and a half because you get a fever at school, you're out for the next day. So who's going to watch who and how do we balance all these things? And then, maybe our oldest has dance class one night and the other one has a t-ball game or, basketball, and like who's going to take who, how are we going to manage all these things and like stay with the full-time job, but then also manage the client roster of 30, 40, 50 clients. Like, I mean, it's just, it had become way too stressful and actually started to noticeably impact my own personal health that it got to a point where a change needed to be made and something needed to get reduced in order to help me be there for my family, help me be there for the thing that I'm passionate about from a professional perspective, which is my coaching business, and be there for our kids and be able to have all the flexibility that our family needs right now. So really all of those factors have kind of come together to help me make this decision. And I'm super, super excited about it. And I just want to kind of like lean back into what I mentioned briefly there about like, if you're passionate about something and you feel like you want to try it, you can do it. You absolutely can. And I want, if anything, this short episode to be something that motivates you. Maybe it's building muscle. Maybe it's losing body fat, but maybe it is starting a business or I don't know, joining a social group or anything that you're passionate about, you've thought about doing, but you've been a little bit hesitant about it. I cannot stress enough that in virtually every aspect of life, if you can be consistent at the thing that you say you want to do and understand that consistent means consistent not for a couple days, not for a couple weeks, not even for a couple months. If you can be consistent at doing the things that are going to get you from where you are to where you want to go and give yourself an unlimited timeline and understand that it's not going to be an overnight success because most stories aren't overnight successes. They seem like it because you see the person who's at that happy place now. Like maybe you see me running my own business that I built from the ground up and you're like, wow, I wish I could do that. But like, it took me 7.5 years of doing this, 3 years of extremely high stress levels and a ton of effort, early mornings, late nights. Like if you are willing to put in the work to get yourself there, you absolutely can do it. Consistency is the thing that I see time and time again that negatively impacts everybody, right? And that often is with health and fitness. Like, I can't be consistent with my workouts, or I struggle to be consistent with my diet. If you can get consistent with the fundamental principles, you want to lose weight, get in a calorie deficit, right? If you want to build muscle, you got to train hard consistently. You can't skip sessions. You got to be there over weeks and months and years. And if you give yourself that unlimited timeline, you can and will get to the place that you want to go. I can't tell you how long it's going to take you, but I can tell you will get there if you can commit to being consistent to it. And I think it's like one of the most powerful things I've learned throughout this entire journey is like, it's been really, really hard sometimes, but I've just focused on the fact that like, hey, like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if I can just keep being consistent for now, it's going to get me to where I want to be. And I have definitely breathed several sighs of relief here since, leaving my job and just focusing on my coaching business, because I made it. I made it, which is pretty cool. And so what's ahead? I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, but like I'm really doubling down on things here with the coaching business. I really want to do everything I possibly can, first and foremost, to serve my clients and give them the best possible experience, help them get the best possible results. That's number one. I'm also really, really excited about doubling down on content. Something I think people probably don't notice it. I notice it and agonize over it because it's me and I'm in the weeds of this stuff every day. Something that I have not enjoyed is my inconsistency sometimes on social media, inconsistency with posting content. Like on my YouTube channel, I'll go through stretches of like 5-6 weeks of posting videos and then 2 months of nothing. And that's all been because of this time crunch, this high stress period of time, balancing both jobs and all the responsibilities with family. I'm really excited about more consistently posting new content that is truly helpful to my audience, to you, the listener, having more podcast episodes, having people come on the podcast as interviews. Something you've also probably noticed if you are a loyal listener to the podcast is it's mostly me just talking. And that's because it's impossible when you work 2 jobs to schedule interviews with people. And so I'm excited about doing more of those on the podcast, doing more videos on my YouTube channel to teach you things that are going to help you in your life about training, nutrition, lifestyle as a busy parent. There's a lot of really cool stuff that I have in the works. And from a business growth perspective, like obviously want to continue to, bring new clients into the coaching program. But as that happens, I have some ideas on new services and maybe some products that I could offer that I'm excited about as well. So, yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I just want to encourage you to, if you have a thing that you're excited about and you've been thinking about it, try it and understand that the timeline is infinite. Don't put yourself on a 3-month timeline, 6-month timeline, 1-year timeline. Give yourself a decade, and you're going to get there. Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I've taken from this entire process. But thank you so much for listening, for anything that you've interacted with or engaged with, or if you've been a client of mine, or if you are one right now. I can't express how much I appreciate you. It has been a very, very long journey, full of mostly ups, some stressful moments along the way. And I couldn't have this podcast episode or make this decision either without like thanking my family, my wife, because a lot of those early mornings and late nights have had dad has to step away, to do some work here. And then my wife takes on more responsibility and the kids get less of their dad, which sometimes they might like, but I'm excited to have less of that too. So yeah, thanks all around to everybody. I hope this podcast episode had a focus to it. More so, I just wanted to let you know because it's a big milestone for me and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'm excited about what is to come here. So thanks so much. Like I said before, make sure you subscribe because there's a lot of good stuff coming here in the near future. And yeah, let's have a great week. I'll talk to you again soon.